Hey there, everybody. It's Tanya at Hummingbird Paintery. I am doing an event today with Crafty Creators Community and Tammy. Tammy graciously invited me to this event for Spring Fling, and I am thankful to be here. So let me make sure that this is off so we don't hear something in the background, because I was watching Elizabeth. So hopefully y'all come over from Elizabeth's page and check me out today. I do have the description of the next person up in the top of my page here. It's Kelly Cat Crafts, and she will be next. And I don't see any comments yet, but I do see some people on. There we go. Hey, Miss Jerry, how are you doing? And great minds think alike. Elizabeth did a birdhouse, and so am I. Hey, Miss Opa, it's good to see you. And Miss Terry, how are y'all doing this morning? Hey, Ruth Adams, thank you for being here. Thank you for painting the page. Thank you for the hearts and everything. I appreciate it. Hey, Miss Nancy, it's so good to see you. I do not know how to post on the page itself to have a link on there. I'm so sorry, Miss Tammy. I don't know how to do that. I knew I was trying to do it before I came on. Thank you so much. Yes, I put the link for Crafty Creators Community up in the top, and I also put Kelly Cat Crafts, who will be down after me. We do have an hour, so I'm going to get started. I did do some things yesterday. Hey, Kelly Cat Crafts, how are you doing? Hey, Marianne. Hey, Miss Tammy, Miss Ladybug Gnomes Tammy. How are you doing? So good to see y'all. Hey, Miss Barbara, I'm good. All right, so I'm going to get some paint. I have used plaster, and we're going to use a pretty blue color. And I'm going to put this on my paper here because, hey, Tammy Loves Vintage, girl, you're so good. I've watched you too. All right, so I'm going to set this aside. This is a good bit of paint here. This is just the plaster from Waverly. Hey, the Crafty Ladybug, how are you doing? Totally Together Creating with Brenda. Hey, Miss Peggy. Hey, Ribbons and Scents. It's so good to see y'all. So we had a good idea. Okay, I started part of this. I did do the bottom with the plaster paint by Waverly. This is from the Hobby Lobby, and I had a smaller one that I found at Michael's that I thought was really cute, and I was going to do a little bit different idea. Hey, Miss Cynthia, it's good to see you. Hey, Home Sweet Create Girl, how are you doing, Miss Jen? Hey, Michelle. But it wasn't big enough, okay, for what I wanted to do, so I decided to use this one. Hey, Lolita and Miss Paula. So what I did was first, and this took a long time to do, I had some small beads, and I wanted them to be on the top to give it some texture. So these are half beads, and I got those at Amazon. So if anybody's interested in that, just let me know down below, and I will give you the link later for this. And this also came from Hobby Lobby now, so anybody can get this over in the woodpile section, okay? Now, I went ahead and I did the bottom row of the blue just so I wouldn't be close to here. Hey, thank you, Miss Pat, for putting that on there. And let's see. Yes, I put all of the beads on. I was sitting here and I got glue all over me. I used some super glue gel that one of my followers gave me, and it got all over my hands, so be careful if you do that. But I wanted them to stay, so I didn't use just hot glue. I used the glue gel, okay? So it's going to look pretty when we put the creamy color on there, so that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to go ahead and do the top here, and I've already done the bottom because I wanted just the bottom ledge here to be the cream color, and then the cream color at the top, and a blue for the background, because I'm using red birds for mine because I always use blue birds, and I decided to do something different. Okay, this one's got some paint in here, so let's get a different brush. All right, so what my idea was to just glue these on here, and we're just going to kind of push the paint in between and paint the whole thing creamy color. And then I want to distress it a little bit with some of the wax from Waverly, and it'll look really cute. So this will take hardly no time. I've got an hour. And let me try to get the outside here. I did go underneath. If you notice that it's blue on the underside, because I'm going to be doing the blue down here. Thank you for sprinkling, Miss Lolita. I appreciate it. Now the outside will be the white, or the cream color. But let me try to go really gentle right here. And then I can go to town. This is the back, so it doesn't matter as much. But I'm trying to get it as close as I can there to the edge. But I want it to be blue underneath. And so let me just get this edge here. There we go. So I didn't do too bad, right? Please sprinkle. Yes, please sprinkle and paint. Paint the page. All right. So we'll get this and just keep doing this until we get it all covered here. And don't get a really good brush, because this is going to mess it up going through here. So get one of your old brushes, and you could use a chip brush if you want to. But this kind of gets in here just as well. And it's one of my old ones. I should have probably already had at least one side done, but I think we'll have enough time. I went ahead and painted one of my 4 birds that I'm going to have on here. Thank you so much for the hearts. I appreciate you saying that, Tammy. Thank you for being here, and I appreciate that. Hopefully a lot of people will come on. Miss Tammy's putting on a really good show today, an event, and hopefully everybody will be here. So let's do all of this. It's just a little time consuming. We want to make sure we get all the middle and everything. You can paint the bottom and then put these on, but I just thought it would be easy to do it this way. And it's not really that easy, is it? So, whatever's the easiest. And you can even paint your half balls if you want to ahead of time and then stick them on here. But I thought this would be easier. This is just time consuming. It's not that it's difficult. Man, it does take a while. You gotta make sure you get all in between there and everything. And then get the bottom edge right here as well. Now I do have underneath blue, but I do want this one little edge here to be white. So that's what I'm gonna do. Hey there, Christy. How are you doing, girl? With the Dashing Willow, y'all. She's going to be on later. So definitely look at the lineup. I posted it on my page several times during this week of everybody that's going to be on there. And it's just a fabulous lineup. Including me, yours truly. Hey, Miss Bonnie, how are you? All right, so I'm just trying to get on here. We got one side pretty done. Got a couple little spots. Golly. I'll go back and get any spots that we don't have. And I still got to do the front here. We want it good and pretty, and I've got a little sign that's going to go up at the top of it as well. I went ahead and did that. It is a great lineup for sure. She did a good job picking, I think. I feel honored to be in there with some of these ladies that are awesome. All right. Man. Got to get all these little areas. But it's pretty good. We got a good group of people here. We have a lot of great followers. And it's awesome. Hopefully y'all are having a great Sunday. Mine's been great so far. I've been pretty much just sitting here preparing this morning when I woke up. Trying to make sure that I get ready enough so I can do this in an hour. Just kind of time consuming. Hey there, thank you for sprinkling. Appreciate that. And even if a little bit of the natural wood shows through, it's okay. Because it's just the natural wood, but I just want to get some paint on it if I can. All right. Let's see here. Let's get the edges. That's so funny that we should both be doing a birdhouse. Yeah, Sue New. Thank you, Sue, for being here. I appreciate that. And I don't know what Opa said, but Miss Terry is agreeing with her. I got a great group of ladies here, so feel free to chitty chat. All right, I almost got it. And then I'm gonna let it dry some, and then I want to put some of that wax on there a little bit, just a little. Okay. That's pretty good, okay? So I've got it right there. And then the bottom is already that color. I've just got to do this one little edge at the bottom here. Gosh! Sorry that the internet, wonder what the deal is. It did that with Elizabeth too. Alright. Okay, so I've got all of that done. Now I'm going to take the blue, which is Pool Blue by Apple Barrel, and we're going to do the body. Uh-oh, I got some on my shirt. Better try to get it off now. There. All right, we're going to dry this just a little bit since I stuck my boob on it. Watching from Arkansas. Thank you for watching, Miss Barbara. I appreciate that. I just want to do the front here, especially in this side, so I don't get any on me. Hey, Miss Margaret. Good to see you. The other side's pretty dry. Thank y'all for talking to each other. All right, now I'm going to do the back here. We're going to do it first. And then I'm just going to do one coat here. If I have time, we can do another coat. I'm going to get it all the way up in the corner. That's the reason why I wanted to do the blue on the back side. So it would blend in very well, and I didn't have to mix it with the white, because that's kind of hard to do. All right. And I've got to go see my mom today. She's got a refrigerator coming on Tuesday, and I got to help with that. All right. So now I've got the back done, okay? So I'm going to hold it right here, and I'm going to do the front. So we got to be a little bit prettier with the front, because that's where all the goodness is. I was going to draw or paint flowers on here, and I decided not to do that. I'm going to put a few flowers just sporadically on here that are springy looking. I've used them on another project too, because it's spring looking. You love the beads on the roof? Thank you. I just was sitting here thinking I needed to put the beads on the roof. I just wanted something different. I've done pine cones on one before. and I wanted to do something different. Now I'm gonna go around this. I don't know if I want a different color or do the blue on the little stick that they sit on. It's mostly gonna be covered up, so I guess it doesn't matter if I do it. I think I'll just do it blue because it's gonna have a bird on it. And I was gonna have it trying to feed a baby, but the holes are so small that I didn't really have any way of doing that. That's the reason why I was going to use the other one. Hey Manny, how are you doing? It's good to see you here. And so I couldn't do the baby bird inside there. I was going to, but just couldn't. Hey Elizabeth. Elizabeth did a great one too. Hers is just different than mine. Everybody, even if you do a birdhouse, is different. All right, I'm gonna go right here at the edge. And part of the bottom will be covered up as well. Let me get this side. Trying to get it right here at the bottom. That's the reason why I was trying to do the bottom. Alright, so that's pretty good. Right there. So it's a pretty blue. It's kind of like an ocean blue. I'm going to do the sides here. Try to get all the way up in here. If you've ever tried, which I got some on there just then, not even paying attention, you get it on there. So I'll have to go back over that with the cream color. And the birds are what I cut the birds out myself. I didn't buy them, even though I have bought some before, because I thought, well, if I had to do something really fast and I didn't have time to cut it out, then I would do it that way. Time it is. I've only had 15 minutes, so that's good. Let me see. I'm gonna go all the way up in here. So I looked at some birds, just the real blue, red birds or cardinals, and I just drew them and then I cut them out yesterday. So I would have them for my thing today, my event. Now I'm hot. Now this will dry a little bit deeper color instead of this. Let me fix this blue right here with the cream color. Where did I see that? Here it is. Oh, I thought I did. Didn't I have a boo-boo somewhere? I hit something somewhere. Well, maybe it was just that one spot then. Alright, so let me make sure that all of this is really good on the front. I can always go back and paint all of the sides and everything because you're mostly going to be looking at the front. Alright. Part of this, they didn't sand real good. If you'll notice inside there, you see some little pieces sticking up, and that's not really good. And I should have seen that ahead of time, but I didn't. And I could have sanded it a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to dry it just a little bit. And then we're going to work on our birds, and then we'll come back and do the top of it. Just want this part to be dry where the birds are going to be sitting, especially on the top. I've got one up here, one on this side, and then 2 or 3 in the front. There we go. Alright, so it's pretty good. I wanted it to be a contrasting color. So I've got blue and cream color here, okay? So I'm going to set it aside and we're going to work on our birds. So I've got red, of course, for the cardinal. And if y'all know anything about cardinals, you know that the mama bird, this is my colors from last night. The mama bird is kind of a yellow and goldish color. So I'm going to put that right here for her. And then I want a little bit of the gold to accent. And you can pick whichever colors you want. I always use King's Gold, and this is Sunny Day. And then this is Tuscan Red by Apple Barrel for my deep burgundy that I'm going to use on there. All right, so I'm going to set this aside here. And I'm going to go ahead and work with the girl, or the female, because we don't want red and then do the yellow. It's better to go backwards with lighter colors and then dark colors. Let me get a piece of paper towel right here so I can dry my brushes some. I went ahead and I did a bird, okay? This is going to be on the side, but I went ahead and did that yesterday because I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to finish 3 birds and the birdhouse. So that's the reason. What time is it? It's 20 after, so I have 40 minutes. We have good time. All right. And let me make sure these are all dry here. I don't want anything on the sides to lean down. All right, we're going to use a small brush, okay? Because we're dealing with a small item, and this is the female. You see her face there? And we're also going to need some black and some white. So I've started putting my black and white in these containers for mustard and ketchup that you can get at Dollar Tree. This is fabulous. Somebody had done it and I thought this is great. So I'm going to put those there, and you don't use as much and it doesn't get clogged either. So far, so good. Thank you. And I've got 2 other birds here. These are 2 males. I accidentally got a little on there, but that's okay. It just means that it's partially already done, right? Thank you, Cynthia. All right, so we're going to do the yellow first, okay? We're going to do this whole bird. You can paint it white. I never do that. I'm bad. I'm one of those crafters that doesn't paint white first. I just end up, you're going to use either white or you're going to use 2 coats of whatever color you're using. So we're going to do the whole thing. I got one little boogie there. And we just don't want to get on the beak, okay? We don't want any yellow on the beak. And I already did the sides and I did the back. That way we wouldn't have to sit here and watch all this painting of plain color, you know? So, tried to help y'all out a little bit by preparing. So, I'm just going to do the whole thing because we're going to go back and we're going to do some different color to make her look like a real bird, okay? And this is basically what she looks like when she's just sitting on a branch. It is great with the pouring of the paint. I love that thing. If I could do all of my paints like that, but you don't use very much of this blue, you know, different colors. So, all right, so we're going to use some of this dark gold or King's Gold, and we're going to kind of just go around the edge here, and we're going to make it fluff out a little bit, make it look more like feathers a little bit, and you just want, see how there's a difference in the color? I don't know if y'all can see it or not. And there's also a little bit of red in this, but we want to do that last. Okay. And there's a little white as well. All right, so I'm getting really close right here, and we want to put some in here. So a lot of her head is the darker color. And then we just want to bring this around here. I'm going to make them look as real as possible, okay? And then I got the white. I'm just making sure. All right, let me see. Want to do it on the right side. We don't want to do both of them that way. All right. So I'm just kind of mixing the colors a little bit and feathering some of this in there. Going all the way around here. And we're going to put a little bit of white in there as well to make her look a little brighter. Okay, see, do y'all see the difference? Kind of turning it so you can. That light's pretty bright, and then we've got the sun coming there. Where did I get my cutouts? I make them myself, Miss Sheila. So, anyway, but yeah, I make them myself. All right. So, let me see here. And we want a little bit down here. All right, now we've got a little bit of red that needs to occur, okay? That's the inner wing here. We don't want a whole lot, so we're gonna take some of it off. And I'm just gonna go right down here. We also need a little brown, and that's nutmeg brown. I'm gonna put a little bit on here as well, because it needs a little bit of brown. We're going to use that. Do I sell my cutouts? Yes, I can sell them if you're interested. Most people haven't asked me about that, but absolutely. Now I'm going to get a little bit of water because it makes it blend just a little bit better. Okay. And we're just going like this, okay? Just on the edge there. Yeah, if you're interested, just send me a private message, okay? And I'll be glad to do that. All right, so we want this to be a little red down here, not all the way to the end. And then there's a little bit on her head, so you just barely want to get any and put some water so it'll blend really good. Can you cut out hummingbirds? Yes, I have already cut out some hummingbirds. And I'll post it again so y'all can see what that looks like. Because y'all know, with my name being Hummingbird Paintery, that I love birds. And I love hummingbirds, I love bluebirds, redbirds, everything. Okay? So this also has a little bit of red up at the top, okay? So it does look like a cardinal, but it's a lighter color. If y'all know anything about birds, then you know that the male is the one that's the most colorful. And that's to deter any other animals to get them. Thank you so much. I'm going to put a little bit of white down here. We just want it, I still want it to be yellow though. But we want it to be a little bit brighter down in here. Just like that. And right in there. Okay. And then I want a little bit down right here. But I just want it to be a little bit. So I'm trying to take my finger just like that, okay? So then we're going to take the black, and you want a very precise brush, okay? I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but it's, let me put it in my, well, maybe it's the dark, okay. Very pointy, okay? And what you want to do is take your black and you're going to roll your brush in it so it'll be very pointy, okay? So we're going to take this and we're going to do where the black is supposed to be, which is right in here. Now the eye is also in here. What time is it? About 30 minutes. So we're going to go around the eye a little bit, and we're going to go out here just very thin like. You can go a little bit thicker where you paint it a thicker area, but when you go to where the little like crease is, then you want to do it very thin and very lightly touch it, okay? So we're going to do it this way. The red ones are a little easier to paint. The yellow one is not to me. Yellow is kind of a different color. It's not my favorite paint color, that's for sure. Even though I like yellow, I'm more of a gold girl. I don't look good in that either. All right, so what I'm deciding to do is just go straight across here where the black goes. So you just want to kind of do this. And the rest of it will be kind of, I didn't get my orange out, and I should have. It has just a little tad of orange in the beak, and you want to go up underneath here, and I'm taking a good portion like that. See that big old blob of paint? And we're just going to go right under here. Go right up next to the yellow where I've already painted that on the side. And we're just going to do it like that. See? So that is the way it looks, okay? So now it's looking like a 3D bird, okay? Hey, Miss Tony. All right. And so let me dry that. We're going to do the eye as well. But I'm going to come back and do that because I want to dry it. All right, and then we're going to do reddish because it's mostly red for the beak, okay? It does have a little bit of orange in it, but just a little bit. And I may come back and do that later and put a little bit in there, but I'm going to put a little bit of darkness in there as well with the darker color. Let me just show you that. Let me color this in. And then we've got to go back and put our little line in there where her mouth is, because right now it just looks like one big old beak. Okay? And let me color in. And I'm just going along here. And this is still a little wet right up underneath there, so I got to be careful. Don't want to get the colors all mixed. Okay, this will be easier. But she looks three-dimensional this way. All right, let me get up close to here. All right, so now she looks three-dimensional, right? Everybody's saying hey to everybody. I'm so glad. And it's 11:31. We still got some time here. Let me dry this, okay? And then we're going to take the black and do a little bit of design. I'm going to put a little bit of brown on her too. She has a little brown. So we're going to do that. I'm going to take this brown and just take a little bit of water because I'm just wanting to do it a little bit. And we're just going to do some feathers right in here. And right in here. But you want to mostly get water. Don't get a whole lot of paint. You want a little bit. So let me show you what it looks like. Now this one I got too much. So I just take the water and go on it a little bit. Okay. See that? So it's looking a little bit more. And then we want a little bit of brown at the bottom. Just get more water than you do paint. And we're going to go right in here, okay? So now she's looking more right? All right, now let's do her eye, and she'll look a whole lot better. And then we can take a little bit of black and go through there. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate that. So I'm getting this very lightly in the black, okay? We're going to go in between here. And you want this to look more like a real eye, okay? That looks like a real eye to me. Now, I did not put white in between there. I just did the black because the yellow background is okay with that. See how that is? If y'all can see it up close. Hey, Secondhand Treasures, how are you doing? Thank you for being here. All right, so let me do this. We're going to go very lightly So there's her beak. Okay. And then I'm just going to take it and lightly put a little bit of furry looking like that. And like that with the black. Okay. See how it's just a little bit to define the middle. Thank you, Texas Breeze Creations. How are you doing? I'm going to do one more here. All right. So now she's done. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do her boyfriends. Thank you, Miss Carol. All right, so I'm going to get the bigger brush here. It's still a small brush, but we're going to get the red, and we're going to do both of these red. So the first thing I'm going to do is just do the whole thing red, except for where the black beak is. I mean, the black around the beak. And we'll let these dry. And then we'll do the details. This has got a little bit of water in it, and it shouldn't have, but I do have it in there. I didn't get it dry enough. You always need to dry it out. Sitting here enjoying your bird feeder. I bet you are. I've got bird feeders on the back porch, and they make a mess. God, they make a mess, but I still like it. I don't care if I have to clean it up. But they are messy. They're messy little bugs. But I love them to death. So I'm just going to do the whole thing because we're going to do other colors to make him come to life. Trying to go over this a little bit where it was too light. And he'll probably need another coat like this. So let me make sure I get right here at the edge. We don't want to go on the black part. So I'm just getting close. I just kind of wiggled my my pencil. There we go. Now the red birds to me are more fun to paint. The yellow ones not so much. Because they're just yellow, you know. I like red. Red's one of my favorite colors, but we don't have a pink bird, or I'd probably do that. Okay. I got a little boogie on there, so let me get that off. I don't like that. Okay. Now see, this one may need some more painting. This one looks like it's pretty good. Let's see. Thank you, Miss Carla. I want to dry my paints out, so I better lean it over. It's not too bad. Once you get these other colors on here, I think it'll be okay. You don't really have to do a second coat. Thank you for saying that, Michelle. You're sweet. Appreciate that. Y'all tell me when I get closer to time. It's 37. I keep watching my watch. I don't want to go in anybody's time. All right, so I'm going to get my brush again. I got some of the paint out, but you don't have to do that because we're going over it. But I'm taking the darker color, put a little bit of color with, a little bit of water on there. And then we're going to just kind of go like this. I'm going to go up underneath here. We're going to paint down like this. Birds are just my favorite thing to do, y'all. All right. Now I'm going to take this and go around the edge over here some. I just want to make him stand out a little bit more. And birds to me are the epitome of spring. All right, now I'm going to go around his little face here. Going to go like that. And the same thing on this side. He may not be exactly like he is in nature, but I do like it. And then we're going to do some up here, and I'm just kind of doing it like that. Okay, and then we want to do a little bit in here, but he's easier to paint, to me anyway. All right, too much water. You can have too much. You got to get that fine line there of how much. All right. So there he is. Okay. He's looking more like real. And then we're going to do the same thing on this one. We're going to kind of go on the edge here. And I'm just going to go straight down. We don't want the whole thing. And the same thing here. This one's a little bit more slender than the other one. The other one's kind of puffed out for winter. But we're going to pretend anyway, because I like him. All right. Then I want to go straight down here. And then do a little bit like here. That way it looks like part of his little wing there, his little tail. Okay, let me make sure which side I am on. Get a little bit of water, take most of the water out, and then go around here. Now I want him to have a lot of red at the bottom, so I'm just going to mix that in. This is more like what he looks like. And then we're going to do it up here. But I want this to all be, let me do this. I want a little bit of water to thin all that out. You just want it to blend in. You do not want a bunch of it. All right, and then I'm going to take that and get it out of my brush so I can do it closer to the top, okay? So let me do that again. You have to take all that out once you blend the whole thing. So I'm going to do a little bit up here. And I'm just going to do it like this, okay? All right. So see those little wispies there? I've just got enough at the top for that. And then I want to go around his little face. So just try to be careful. And we're going to go around this. And I just want it to be a little darker right in there. Okay. There we go. All right. So now that one's done, okay? So now we're going to do the black part. And of course the red for the beak as well. All right, so we got to get a bigger brush, but still small. And going around this. So we're going to go around here because we know that's the way it is. So I'm kind of doing this way. All right, so the first thing I do is get near where I don't want to put my paint. And that's right at the beak. So we're going to go around this. This is where his eye is. You've got to have a very pointy brush. Get a new brush. Don't use a crappy brush for the eyes on anything. Because I still mess up sometimes. And I've used a bad brush. All right, we're going to do both fronts and then we'll do that side part. And then we'll come back with the red for the beak. All right. And I always go on the edge here. And so that's the reason for that. And then you can go to town coloring like a color book once you get the edges done. All right. So there's that part, okay? But I haven't done that yet. I'm going to come back in a minute. I just want to get that one dry and then do the front of this one. And do the same thing. We're going to go around this. and go around the eye. And then keep going here. And then paint in, and I'm going to show it to you. Let me go around this. You want to get it up near this. They all look a little bit different depending on how they're sitting. All right. Now I'm going to dry the other one just to make sure. I also want to do this. All right, just a little. All right, so let me dry these and then we'll do the eyes. 11:43. We're good, we're good. Mama's finished with this part. So, let me get this. All right, we're going to go ahead and do the red first, and then we'll come back and do the eye on these. So just take your whole red. And we're just going to do the red with this. I'm going to do the whole thing red, and then we'll do black on the edge. That way it's easier to do. All right. Same thing on this one. I'm just going to do the whole thing. The bigger brush. And then go out this way so you don't get any paint on there. There we go. All right, so that's the way that looks, okay? And then I'm going to take the black. Let me dry it some. Hey, Miss Connie, you fell asleep. It's okay. Let me dry this. Let me make sure. Woo, that's hot. All right. And then we're going to take the black and do the eye and part of the little line there. And just take this and get it very close to the edge, but you want to leave a little bit. Just like this, okay? It makes it look more like a realistic eye. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're getting it all the way up there. You just got to have a tiny brush. All right, so this one's a little bit smaller, okay? And then we're going to go, I forgot to do the red on this one, so we got to paint the red on this. We want to go all the way to the edge of the black. Just like this. I got a little bit right there on the edge that needs it. And a little bit right there. Okay, and I'm going to take a little bit of the darker color. We're going to go on the top. We just want to make it look a little bit better. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. Just going to use the leftovers that I have on my brush. I'm going to make it dark there. I'm going to put a little bit on this one. And then, what was I going to do? I was going to put the little black line. Make sure it's very pointy. Just like that. And this one kind of already has the line with that, okay? So there's that. There's that. Now I need a little, I'm going to do a little bit of red in this one too. Let me do that. You want it mostly out, so you want it to be light. I'm just taking it and we're moving it over there, so it's going to be a little bit better, okay? Now I'll come back later and we'll make these lines. I just want to make sure that I have enough time to do everything. Let me get one little dab of white. You always want a little white in their eye. And the same thing in this one. All right. There we go. All right, so we're going to get our house. We're going to put our birds first. All right, I wanted a little bit of greenery. So I'm going to use this. This is from, oh, I didn't turn it on. Well, that ain't going to work. So we'll have to wait just a second. I'm going to go ahead and get some of this Waverly Antique, and we're going to do that. We've only got less than, well, 10, 12 minutes. All right, let me see. All right, so I'm going to use this. There went my candy. All right, now I'm going to take this. I'm going to try not to get too much. We're just going to kind of go over the beads, okay? I just wanted them to show up some. And I just want a little bit. Okay. All right. We want it across here. While the heat tool heats up. See? A little bit better, okay? I want it to show just enough. I don't want too much on there. That's the reason why I'm using this. All right. So that kind of looks good. Good on that there. Okay. Do it a little bit darker. There we go. So that's a little bit better. Okay. It's still on, but it doesn't feel like it's hot enough. But that's all I'm going to do on that. I don't want too much of the brown. And this brown, I mean this other color is going to come out of the bottom if I don't watch it. Did you spill your jelly beans? Yes, I did. Only it's not jelly beans, it's those little sweet tart things. All right, I'm going to do like Elizabeth did and put a little bit of this in the bottom portion here. I think I was going to do the blue. Yeah, that's going to be covering up the top one, but I want a little bit on the inside. Let me see if I've got okay, it's already heated, so we're good. Yay, yay. All right, so I want a little bit down here so it shows that. Excellent idea, Elizabeth. So see, we've got a little bit right there, so it looks like there's a birdie in there. And then what I'm going to do is take this. I've got to see where I want her. We're going to put her up here at the top. Now I'm also going to use some glue gel because we want to make sure that it stays, right? Let me see if I can get it off for the hot glue. Now this does smell. All right, and then I'm going to hold it for a second. You can, since it's going to be up against this, you can do it to the actual box itself. I'm just doing it to the peg. And then we're going to do the same thing with this. And I've got a little, I like the way this looks anyway, so I'm not going to do any distressing or anything with that. I want it up on top of here. And I want to see how this looks. We're going to do it like this, but I wanted to get a little bit of the greenery under here. So I'm going to put a little bit of this. Just like that. And I'm going to do the same thing right here. I'm going to put a little bit right in there. Well, let me put it right there. Okay, and the bird is going to kind of sit right up on the leaves just a little bit, but I think I'm going to do it to the side, okay? So we're going to put this and some of this and set it right in there. I want it to lean off, and you can kind of put a little bit of this right here on the edge because it's leaning up against here. And we're going to put a flower right here. That way it'll cover up those two little stems. All right, this one's the one that's the hardest to get there, okay? And then we've got this. We're going to put some hot glue and some regular glue. We're sticking him right here. He's looking around the edge. Good morning. Thank you, Miss Gayleen. All right, and then we've got one more, and we're going to put him on top right here. You know you want this to sit for a little bit because it is got all this. I'm going to put a good amount of glue right there and underneath his booty. I love the colors. Thank you so much. All right. Now, I kind of want to put some kind of all around the bottom here, but I've got one more little touch. We got 5 minutes. So I'm going to get one more little flower off of here, and I want to put 2 flowers in the front, okay? I'm going to turn it around so you can see. Whoa. When you have to rush. All right. This way it looks a little bit prettier, okay? Got all my red birds on there. It's turning out cute. Thank you. I'm going to cut part of this off of here. And that way I don't have that big stick that I had to cover up. We're just going to put this up underneath the bird a little bit. And same thing on the other side. I've got several of these. I'm going to cut this big part off. And I want some underneath this little dude. And I don't know what it looks like. Yeah, I kind of like it like that. All right. Ah, it's got my finger. All right. Let me make sure that I've got enough glue right there to hold on to it. There we go. That's better. And I'm going to get another piece to go right in here. And a flower. All right, and I want a piece of flower over here on this side, and I've got one little thing left. I'm just going to put this right here. Oh, I like that. And I may go all the way around, but y'all want to see the back. Here we go. Okay. All right, so one little thing is left, and I've got a little sign, okay? Let's see. Let me get this glue down. What time is it? 57. I'm right at my time here. All right. Let me make sure that's centered. It is. Oh, how cute. Okay, let me get this out of the way, and I'm going to put it closer to you so you can see, okay? Because I didn't glue it down. Here, I'll just hold it. You love how I explain how you're painting them. Oh, you're welcome. That's what I'm here for, to kind of teach you. But see, it says, let me see if I can turn it around so y'all can see. There we go. It says Redbird Inn. How cute, right? Let me make sure I can see y'all's words. There we go. You love it, Melissa. Thank you so much, girl. Thank you, Miss Jerry and Miss Beth and Michelle and Christy. Thank you so much for the hearts, everybody. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that, and these stars as well. Hey, Betsy. Thank you so much. Miss Linda and Michelle, everybody. Thank you for the hearts. I hope y'all enjoyed this. This to me is the epitome of spring. So I'm ready for spring, that's for sure, in the warm weather. Thank you for the stars. Hey, Jackie, thank you. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Lynn. Y'all have a good day, and make sure that y'all watch Kelly Cat Crafts. You can watch it on Crafty Creators Community by the Crafty Peep. Make sure you do that. Up in the top is the description and the link for both of those, so make sure that you go watch that. Thank you, Regina. Thank you, Miss Donna. Thank you, Lolita. I appreciate it. And then we're going to glue this down because I haven't done that yet. But that way you can have this one hanging off. Thank you so much. What size beads did you use? Oh gosh, I don't know. It's not the smallest one. It's the next to the smallest, Miss Jackie. I'm not sure. I'll post it later if you're interested in getting those from Amazon. So thank you for the